you cannot handle real work, reality talk, 80+ language, simply skip the video.
Number 41, and it's non-stop raining. Yesterday, okay, there were some moments, maybe 50 minutes of no rain, but the past days and probably also the next days it will be raining. But like always, the circumstances never determine my action, disciplined actions. So I have to keep on moving because otherwise I'm getting cold. Now that the bars are non-stop wet, you know, makes it extra slippery. I don't mind the extra challenge, but hey, if I compare training with snow or rain, I think it's with snow better than simply because of the grip. But also when it's raining, you know, your clothes getting wet and it's a little bit windy. I cannot wear, yeah I can, but yeah, let's say I cannot wear short pants also because it's a little bit windy, you get wet. So, unless you keep on constantly moving, but still, because I took the tram till this spot and it's actually going straight away to the Airbnb, but you know, anyway, we're gonna do it. We're gonna finish this one. Dips with the knee raises, high pull-ups with the knee raises, semi-tucked, and then that's it for today. Of course, the stretching, I always stretch every single day. Oh yeah, and the forward, deep forward lunges. So let's make a move of let's finish this and then make a move. Ciao for now. Hey, but by the way, if you didn't subscribe yet, come on, help me out over here. And actually yesterday I said something about switching from Viva wallet to Revolut for the e-commerce people in Malta. If you see this, watch this video, just contact me because we're switching. Simply for one reason: the app of Viva wallet had some issues and they're still not resolved. And the thing is, that is all fun, you know, every app has issues, but these are financial institutions. But to make it, to sweeten up the whole deal, with Revolut the fees are even lower, and most people do use Revolut, and now you can lower your fees and keep all your finances, let's say, in one place instead of, okay, you got your main bank, but you know, you don't have to use Viva wallet and Revolut. So yeah, move. Oh yeah, this is also interesting. You know, yesterday I mentioned people could hear me talking about e-commerce, but this is the thing, you know, people straight away start talking about tax this, tax that. First of all, if you start e-commerce, there is nothing to be taxed upon. Second, the chessboard of life is way bigger than Bulgaria. And I want to say this when you watch this, and start really thinking outside the box, not what is so-called business running in a single country, you know. And I really want to hammer on this because people are already in the upper hand thinking about tax. There's nothing to be taxed upon. Maybe you're gonna fail, there's nothing to be taxed. So that is, see, and then I understand the person who said it, he was a young guy, he starts to do a little bit something. But the thing is, you know, people, you know, I can mention other examples, like people already start dividing profits in the beginning. People talk about I need investment money for this and this. No, you don't. You need to know how to work the system. Not only work the system, also work around things that you will get on the way to make things happen. You don't need big amounts of money. That is all mumbo jumbo. And one thing, a beautiful example, I saw this actually this morning. So there was a video about how Russell Brunson, this aircraft thing set up, how he started, you know, to get his first plane in the air without having the money. So just Google it and then let that inspire you, that not when there's and people talk about small projects, small businesses, they don't need a lot of money. If a person can start up a plane thing, well, what is the, I don't know the company name, Russell Branson, whatever the fuck his name is. But yeah, damn it, I can think about the logo on his planes, but I cannot come up with it. Just Google it and then Google how did he set it up, by having the right talk in place, and that's how he upfront finances the lease, because he leased the plane up as an agreement, as a lease in the beginning. So just Google it. But that should also inspire you when you talk about very small projects that are only located in one single country. You don't need big amounts of money, people. Stop looking for excuses, just figure it out. You know, that's also something. And this is not true with you when you said it yesterday. The thing is, when I talk with people, I can mention another example. You know, because I always have, you know, ridiculous things in mind according to people. And there is one person, in Bulgaria, in a suit. Again, see, I don't have anything against suits, but I do not like people who pretend to be something what they're not. Dressing up in a suit, and in the meantime they have characteristics that are pretty disgusting. But there's a guy in a suit, and he said, and he also has some kind of example, role model thing for other people that quote unquote work for him, let's say follow him, but they take over the same mindset. So what he said, yeah, but Alan, you're always aiming for the sky. And I didn't even finish my whole explanation about the project. You're always going for the sky. Yeah, why not? I'm not aiming for the sky, I'm aiming higher than the sky. Not only that, the thing is, if I fail, you would be happy. I learned a lesson. There is no loss for me. But the thing is, the fact that somebody says, and I think it's negative, you know, you're always aiming for the sky. You shouldn't do this. You should be staying safe. You should be taking care of yourself. You should be living more balanced. Okay, that sounds all great, but that is your mindset. Don't wrap up your bullshit on me and try to get me on your level. And with all the respect, you pulling people down. See, I'm not getting negatively affected by it, but I want to share this, people, because normal people who want to escape the 9 to 5, you will run into idiots. You run into idiots. And people like me who are, so you got, see, I can say how it is, where my position is. So you have people who work for people, 9 to 5ers. You got people who are self-employed. They bought a business and they work their fucking ass off. Self-employed, nothing special. You didn't buy freedom. And then you got business owners who actually can leave the place of business. They don't have to be over there. They're constantly on the road, which I also did in Holland at one point. Between 500 to 700 kilometers a day, every single day, non-stop, having 3 assistants with me. One started from 6 o'clock to 1 o'clock, one started from 1 till 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock. Then they tired because I was a madman. And then from 7 o'clock another one came in till 1 o'clock, and then the next day again, bam, bam. And you know, they dropped like leaves from a tree in autumn. So anyway, don't let other people tell you or pull you down. And also, when you look at the rain now, the circumstances don't matter, because whether you do it or you don't do it, the steel symbolizes life. It doesn't care if you do it or not. It really doesn't care. And also the people who try to pull you down, they have only one little time frame with you. Look, this, something negative, blah 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 blah. The thing is, and then they go and they rub off their other negativity to other people that do something out of the box, and or even worse, they sit with their own kind, talking about the politics, how bad it is, all the taxes are so high, all the this and this is bad. Stay away from it, people. And again, my vlogs are not for the so-called snowflakes. They're not for the people who say, no, I don't give a shit about anybody else. No, then it's not for you, because you don't care. Like I said, I do everything from the phone, and I want this for a lot of other people, but it only will work if you genuinely care about other people, not only about your selfish, shitty, whatever you do. Again, feel offended, feel not offended, feel inspired, hate me, love me, but if you really want to do something in life, you know, you need to get rid of a lot of people, simply. And whether you succeed or fail, people will drop off. So if they drop off in your life, can you imagine when you would get hit by a car? That's how much they would care. You know, you just die, they cry a little bit, boo-hoo. Nah, yeah, 3 months later, everybody dances on your grave. And then people say, yeah, my parents, they would cry about me a little bit longer. Yes, I understand that. But the thing is, I try to make a point over here that other people, their opinion doesn't matter. Does mine matter? No, not really. But I'm sharing my mindset, how I think about it, because I lived a colorful life, did a lot of stuff, failed a lot of times, and running every single day into other people. I talk every day with a lot of people. Every single day, every 7 days a week. Think about it. If you meet every day somebody new, what do you think? If you're really interested in people, what are you gonna learn? A lot, a lot. And like I said, you know, around Christmas time and getting drunk with the homeless people, I'm actually giving them beer and vodka. Do I put it on camera to show how good I am? You know, those fucking idiots. And I think they're idiots. You can give homeless people money without actually putting them on camera. And the thing is, it's all great that they get the money, yes, but you don't have to put their face on the camera. Yeah, but I get sponsored by the people who watch my videos. Yeah, okay, you can figure it out another way. Don't put people, don't make them look like circus monkeys. Just, if you want to give the money, and this is another thing, it looks good for the views, yes, we all understand this, but it's all temporarily. You can see a bunch of those videos for a short amount of time. People like me, my voice, my speaking needs to improve every single day. Yesterday was a very short one, but once I am really into the speaking, that it's going to a right point of it, you could say, no, that sounds pretty reasonable. You know, then I have an unlimited source. Every day I get filled up with all kind of people, influences. I'm constantly busy with developing stuff, also solving huge amounts of problems, small problems, other people their problems. So I am gonna be a source of rattling and see, and I'm just oh yeah, if you don't watch my previous vlogs, you know, my name is Dallan Baron, aka .com Baron, and it's not some kind of you know, alter ego thing, because it's pretty similar to my own, actually exactly similar. Disciplined, aiming for the sky and a little bit higher, and if I do less than that, then I'm still good. I'm 46, gonna be 47 at the end of the year. So, and the thing is, you know, I'm a guy who doesn't like to sleep a lot, so my days are always filled up. And you can understand, if you have a 9 to 5, you're meeting every day the same, you get gray hair at your 30s, your hair falls out when you're 35, you get a beer belly, and that I don't believe that people are made for that. But also, when I was sharing strategies, I shared one for the Facebook thing, and hope at least one person will do it. Yeah, because it sets you free. Not only you start thinking different, but when you start doing it and you hang around in general with only idiots, yeah, don't share it what you're doing. Just fail by yourself, so that at least your character, you know, can get in touch a little bit by developing something, and not starting getting influenced negatively by the people around you. Because if you're not resilient to this, then you will give up after 1 month and you say, oh, it didn't work. and in the meantime people fill you up with all negativity, dude, oh yo, you will fail, that will never work for you. Shut up, shut up. Never listen to people like that. Also really think about it, huh? Why would you say something negative when somebody actually tries to do something, when it's about improving their life? Why? Because other people don't have the fucking balls, they have just empty nutsacks. Yeah, think about that. That sounds pretty rude, Alan. Yeah, but it's reality. And like reality, life, they doesn't care. They don't care. Life, reality, don't care. You do it, you don't do it. And that's why I love calisthenics. The steel, the weather will never determine my discipline. Daily calisthenics. Never. Snow, 40 degrees the plus, running in the fucking hills in Malta, trying to hide under a rock for the snow, otherwise I would pass out. But you know what? You pass out, you wake up. You know what? If you don't wake up, you die on the spot. And let me also no, I'm not going to talk about this story. The thing is, if you would die on the spot, your body, it's gone. It's finito. Game over. Game over. And trust me, I'm pushing it many times all over the top. So some people might say, yeah, Dolan, but I cannot do this, because otherwise I probably will die. Now you know what? With that kind of mindset, okay, don't say it, but you understand what I'm trying to say over here. Maybe it's better to give up. Maybe you already did. Anyway, let's finish this. I keep on rattling. It's totally not my intention. Yeah, yesterday's vlog was very short because I'm gonna blame this on myself. I could say, no, this and this, I had to do this meeting, I had to do a lot of calls, I had to do this. No, Dalan, you did not manage your time good enough. And you know why? I slept 2 hours longer. I slept all the way from 1 o'clock to 7 o'clock. Yeah, you know, and then I'm out of my fucking rhythm. I need to go around. No, I slept at 2 o'clock, and that's why I woke up a little bit longer. And then because I was talking very nice with one guy from Brazil, if you watch this, it was very nice talk. Do something with it, what I told you. You know, don't be such a greedy bastard that you need those upfront sales. Because I said, give it away for free, and actually, yeah, anyway, you can sometimes talk to people and they will just go for the short amount of money. Because I want upfront money, because I think, I don't know what. I'm just trying to come up with something, but I cannot. But here we go. Here we go. Finish this. Almost done. I had a little bit of mindset thing that I want to share. How I sometimes talk to myself. You know, I'm really pushing it at the moment when it's about the training, but I always think like this. I love to slaughter myself. Because if you slaughter yourself every single day, you know, how do you think, or what do you think that will do with your confidence? And no, for the normal people, confidence can be like arrogant or something like this, that they call you arrogant. But that's again people who want to pull you down. So anyway, if you discuss confidence or how to build confidence with, let's say, normal people, they will say, yeah, but then you become probably arrogant. People, if you have the discipline to slaughter yourself every day, you humble yourself as well. Think about that. Really think about it. I'm gonna say it again. If you got the discipline to slaughter yourself every single day, pain, mentally exhausted, physically exhausted, muscle pain, every day again, your lungs are burning, you know, gasping for air, snot is running out of your nose, spit is drooling down your mouth. You understand what I'm trying to say over here? You will humble yourself. Look at the steel. You think that the steel will say, no, Dolan, you look very tired. Why don't you come and lay down in my arms? Look, those arms. They're just as cold and hard as any other person who actually don't give a shit about you. And again, focus on that, people. Make yourself proud every single day by slaughtering yourself. Ciao for now. Here, and if you recognize this place, the last time I didn't mention the name of the place because I'm a very bad pigeon when it's about places, their names. But this place is called Kneževo. Kneževo. I don't. It's really a tongue breaker. Kneževo, but very nice, right? I'm gonna fill up water over there. I did this morning already in the center, mineral water thing. Somehow it makes me feel very, very good. You know, I said this a few days ago. When I drink water from the tap, I did this for 12 hours. Don't do it. My pee told me, don't do it. Not only the taste, my pee also said, hey, I'm very yellow, so it's not good. So I did. Then I mentioned the water from the supermarket. It's all nice and good, but it's totally empty liquid. Totally empty. Like I said, when I drink, for example, 1 liter of water, just quickly, then I have to pee in less than 15 minutes. What does that mean? I don't know. I'm not a nutritionist or a doctor, but when it's about the mineral water, I can drink a 1 liter of water and I don't have to pee. I really don't know what it means. If you know what that means, and you can also taste it, really full water. I really like it. If I could buy this water from the supermarket, you know, you can buy any kind of, let's say, luxury water, so you can tell other people, you know, look at my bottle, it's very high quality water. Well, I tasted most of the waters. Obviously I'm not going to spend more than 10 euros for a bottle of water, but I tested reasonable, so-called prestigious waters, but nothing is comes close to mineral water. And I'm yeah, maybe also totally wrong, I don't know. Just leave something in the comments. What do you think about mineral water, if you even have ever had the chance to try it? But yeah, I think I function also very good on it, huh? But it's maybe also a combination of discipline and other things that I do. But as you know, I'm drinking everyday beer. Totally not influenced anything negatively. But yeah, let me know, what do you think about the mineral water wherever you live? Because yeah, most of my viewers are from the USA, so I don't know. Are there actually in the USA, in your city, village, mineral water, and what do you think about it? How does it influence your body? It is. And a lot of people ask me, how is it possible that you talk with so many people and you don't speak the language good? I always figure it out, and somehow I have whole conversations with people who speak only Bulgarian. But I'm gonna mention one nice example. See, I always can find some sort of thing to talk about and go very deep at one point. But I want to share it with you because, then you can maybe also look at tiny things and just as a grabbing thing to get in conversation. So I saw a guy, he was selling milk. He was selling milk. And I just go over there, I ask, from the cow, is it fresh? Do you do it by yourself? And then I say, and then I said, that's fucking awesome, how many cows you got? And you know what? Before you know, you have a whole conversation. Shake hands, ciao for now, nice for your time, thank you for your time. Bam, another interaction on your resume. But I'm just saying this, how simple it is, right? Just look at what people do, and people love to talk about themselves. Never forget this. People like to talk about themselves. Just find one little tiny thing that you know more about. But also so with this milk, I'm interested always, did he do it by himself? How many cows? And then you can go way much further. Do you eat the cows? Do you slaughter themselves? Etc, etc. Where do you sell the meat? Do you eat everything by yourself? And then people just fill it in by themselves. Just ask questions, because people like to talk about themselves. And not only that, you know, when people are passionate about something, see, that is another thing. When people just, you know, slouch and just very sleepy eyes. Okay, I can play around with this as well, because then I see them as a challenge. So, but you know, when you start out with speaking to a lot of random people, you just look for very obvious things. So a guy, he sells milk, very obvious. It's a very easy point to start talking about. You know, there's so many other examples, but I wanted to mention this because I did it just a few minutes ago. Anyway, thinking what to do now, because it keeps on raining. And yes, when I don't train to walk around in the rain, yeah, not the best thing to do. And again, we're over here in Kniazevo station. Kniazevo, probably I pronounced it wrong. Kniazevo, Kniazevo. I do know how to read Cyrillic, that's why I pronounce it a little bit like this, so maybe you can figure it out if you're not Bulgarian, so you understand what I mean, and then you Google Maps it, and then you can find all the stuff. Oh, talking about my Google Maps profile, boom, over 3 million views, which actually reminds me I should make some pictures. Yeah, when it's about the rain, I was planning to do my TikTok training videos where I explain move by move by move by move why I do it and how I do it, so you can get in shape much faster than I did, and keep on drinking beers, but without also counting calories, weighing proteins. But let's get back to the TikTok trainings, why I'm not doing it, because yeah, my phone is not water resistant. Sounds like a big excuse, darling. Why don't you buy an umbrella? Good thinking, good thinking. But I always want to be very mobile, and that's why I'm wearing the backpack. And I don't want to walk around, another excuse, darling, with an umbrella. True, true. But like this, and let's say, if I want to stand out, or at least get along with all those young guys, you know, who swing like wild baboons on the pull-up bars, you know, I always like to walk around half naked, so you can at least see that it works for an old 46-year-old fart. Some people, well, by the way, may like to make jokes about that. Very fun. I'm gonna counter on this one. I have sometimes girlfriends, their mothers are even younger than me. Hey, try to do that. Anyway, ciao for now. Now I'm walking between Pavlovo over there, and I lived over there for 8 months. But the thing is, this road was not over here. It's totally brand new. Over there off Kupel, also I lived in Kupel for 8 months. For 8 months actually in Pavlovo, in a hostel. Nice place. Outside barbecue and everything every day. Drinking with the people. Anyway, but then it's a little bit different. But over there off Kupel, and actually at the end of this street, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but there's some kind of orange roof behind that house. I actually lived for I think also around 7 months over there. So that's where I also lived, and I lived in Kupel 1, and this is the old Kupel, I think. So I just want to see the road, because at that time when I was living in Pavlovo, behind me, this was all rocks and stones, and people were every day busy over here, and when it was raining everything was muddy, snowing, muddy, and now it's already, I think it's beautiful. Bravo. Oh, building, hoppa. That's also what I really like about living in bigger cities. You know, it's constantly buildings popping up, stores, roads. Actually, it's constantly improvement. Now, of course, there are the negative ones. Yeah, but the roads are so bad, and this is so bad. Yeah, okay, then you move somewhere else. But I think It is very nice. This road, you know, beautiful. Building, bum, beautiful. New building. Constant growth. And as you watch my videos, you should. And what I also want to say, oh yeah, I want to share one little Facebook. I mentioned to grow your Facebook page or Instagram thing, and then build audiences, any kind of niche. The thing is, what I want to say this to the people who actually do want to do something. Oh, that's a beautiful graffiti thing. Oh, look at the water. Okay, let's finish the Facebook story first. So do it. Download first 10 pictures, create with ChatGPT titles, descriptions and hashtags, and just schedule ahead. Like this, you're only 3 hours busy, and then you don't have to quote unquote work for another 10 days on it, so 2 times per month. So I'm giving you a working structure, people. It's not only a strategy but a working structure. And a lot of those idiot courses, and I went through a boatload, so I can say it, over 2 gigabytes of terabyte. Wait a minute, somebody's calling me, I think. Yeah, I'm giving you working structure, not only strategy. So, and if you don't know what I mean when it's about the Facebook thing, just watch 2 or 3 days ago, I don't know. It's in the title, I think. So you can check the title. So I save you time to go through all the descriptions of the videos. But look at the water. Woohoo! You know, going in this water with a raft. How would that end? Not very well, by the way, because over there the Slavia Stadium, and as you know, I train in the Slavia Park. But this is going to be a wild ride, I think. Of course, not like in the wild nature thing, but you know, I think it's still fun to do. Even with just a tire, you know, in a big tire. Yeah, maybe that's not the safest thing. By the way, I don't give any ideas over here and then I get sued for anything. I don't know how it works, but I'm just speaking my mind. Anyway. Show you the other side of the bridge. Look, that is a pretty wild ride over there. Oh, this water is going pretty fast, huh? I don't know. I never did wild water rafting things, because I in general don't do a lot of entertainment stuff. But whoa, I think that is a little bit an adrenaline kick until you run into wood things and break your legs. Whoa. Yeah, by the way, this bridge also totally new, huh? Look at this. Yeah, it's beautiful, right? Yeah, unfortunately I don't have footage that I can actually show you how it looked before. It's so open. I think this store, well, there's also a new freaking store. Look, you can sit over there. Yeah, see, that's why I really love Sofia, huh? I really love Sofia. You know, I can go to Plovdiv. Yeah, I also like it over there, but Sofia has pretty much everything what I like. You know, you can do everything in a very short amount of time. Traveling is very fast between all the neighborhoods. Shake hands, talk with random people. It's like a Disneyland. Sofia is like Disneyland for me. I never been to Disneyland. Like I said, I'm not into the entertainment for myself stuff. More discipline and just talk. I want to communicate. That's my addiction. Maybe obsessed. Well, that doesn't sound very healthy, though. Nah, yeah, what is healthy? What is healthy? I think smoking a packet of cigarettes is not very healthy. But who am I? I'm not a doctor. Anyway, I think I'm gonna eat something. And I need to go to the dentist. I think. Sometimes, I also, when you start focusing on something, like pain, that are sensitive, you know, then you also, at least in my case, then I also start feeling it more. But in case of pain, let's talk a little bit about pain, physical pain. I just, so for example, if my shoulders are painful, I hurt my legs as much as possible, so the pain in my legs is way much higher. So I forget about the pain in my shoulders. And that is also with mental things, and that's something, let's say, something that tears my heart a little bit apart or something. I'm not talking about people, girls. I'm talking about something that is really shocking. And what I always like to do, I always think, Dylan, you're 46, you went through way worse, and we're still breathing, and our network is only getting bigger and bigger. There is no time to actually mess around. And if I still act a little bit like a bitch between the ears, I'm gonna punish myself so hard physically that I cannot even focus on quote-unquote mental pain. You know, that you people who have self-inflicted issues, you know, you get people, they say, no, I am ADHD, or I am OCDC, or that they clean up shit. No, you're not. You're not. Self-inflicted shit. The thing is, when I talk about that I'm gonna take care of my mental shit, that in general doesn't take longer than 15 minutes, you know, heart attack, shocking, boo-hoo. Just inflict yourself, harm yourself so hard that you can't even focus on mental bullshit, because mental bullshit is actually obstructing your way of actually acting, at least in most people their thing. But when you have emotional things going on, just do it, just do it, just do it, and trust me, just do it and you will figure out it works. Sounds cruel and rude maybe, and some people there soft ears. Just do it. Just simply do it. Just do it. And I'm gonna mention this many times. Trust me. I had, like I mentioned multiple times, I lived a very colorful life, a lot of heartbreak, mental torture, non-stop mental torture. I could say that. That's why I don't have also a lot of, let's say, normal people's sympathy. You know, when people cry to me, I first ask, what did you do to solve it? Give them a piece of advice, but not come again with your mental issues. You're just acting like a bitch. And that is not for everybody, eh? Not for everybody. Because you arrogant, senseless, emotionless piece of shit. That's what they think. But it doesn't matter. I told you once, this guy, right? He came out of his room. He said, my knees are hurting. I said, fuck you. Because I told you the story before. But anyway, I told him, fuck you. Doesn't matter what do you eat. I asked him, what are you eating? Blah, blah, blah. No, everyday cola, of course. A lot of sugar. Yeah. What do you think? Your joints love sugars? No, they don't. And I said, stop doing that. Stop whining. Stop the cola. Or you know, just live with the pain. He stopped cola, and he didn't stop traveling, walking around, trekking. And sometimes we still have conversations, and he says, Dalla, if I would have sat down with my normal friends, they would, you know, hug me and give me a warm feeling, but you gave me what I needed. True story. Anyway, ciao for now.